This video is sponsored by JumpShotTrader.com. Perfect your jumper using JumpShotTrader.com, as their method is proven to increase your shooting accuracy by eliminating resistance from your offhand. You can learn more by using the links in the description box below. Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Exactly, back for some more daily NBA news. Thank you as always for coming back. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and if you haven't already, go ahead and smack that sub button and hit the bell as well so you can stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But now, let's just take a look at everything that is going on in the NBA. First up in the news, last year, the rookie rivalry in the NBA was of course between Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell. There was a back and forth heated battle amongst NBA fans and even amongst the players themselves, with Donovan Mitchell taking shots at Ben Simmons, calling him not a real rookie throughout the course of the season. And this year, I think we have an idea of who the next rookie rivalry might feature. Luka Doncic and Michael Porter Jr., as the two players were taking some shots at each other yesterday. And it started off with Michael Porter Jr. liking a comment on Instagram that said, "This is terrible. Luka is the most overrated person I've seen in my life," meaning that he agrees with it. And that's how this started, and it escalated when one of Luka Doncic's EuroLeague teammates decided to respond to Michael Porter Jr. by saying this: "MVP of EuroLeague can't be overrated. An injured player who has not played in 5 college games can be overrated. Hashtag facts." And Luka Doncic himself then decided to like that tweet, so shots were being fired. But I guess it doesn't even stop there, as another EuroLeague player was looking to get in on the action, as he tweeted out in Doncic's defense saying, "Unbelievable how arrogant they are," referring to NBA players. He just called NBA players, and I guess even probably some fans of the NBA who don't know much about the EuroLeague, arrogant. This escalated so quickly, and a lot of you might be asking, well, where on earth did this come from? Why does Michael Porter Jr. have beef with Luka Doncic in order for him to like that tweet in the first place? And a lot of people think it's because of this infographic that ESPN recently released, showing which rookie is most likely to win Rookie of the Year in 2019, with Luka Doncic basically being a runaway with a 58% chance, followed by DeAndre Ayton being a distant second with only a 24% chance, and then a bunch of guys with a 3% chance, and at the bottom you see Trae Young with that big fat 0% chance next to his face. That's real tough. So maybe Michael Porter Jr. is upset about this, and he feels like one of those other players should be the favorites to win Rookie of the Year, and that's why Luka Doncic is overrated. Or maybe he's upset because he didn't see his name up there on the list of possible people to win Rookie of the Year. But I mean, he can't be upset because of that, because he himself said that there's a real chance that he redshirts this year. And when was the last time you heard us on redshirting winning Rookie of the Year without playing in a single game? I will say though that they did Trae Young so dirty. If anyone has any right to be upset, it's Trae Young. They gave him a 0% chance. If you're gonna say the guy has no shot of winning Rookie of the Year, why even bother putting him in this infographic with that 0% next to his name? You don't see Mo Bamba there with a 0% next to his name. They had to pick out Trae Young, so they really did that man dirty. Next up in the news, and this is gonna be real quick, but a Cleveland-based newspaper, if anyone still reads newspaper, I mean, who still reads a newspaper anymore? Anyways, a Cleveland-based newspaper decided that it was okay to take a shot at LeBron James yesterday, as after it was announced that LeBron would be making his return with the Lakers to play against the Cavs in Cleveland on November 21st, here is what the newspaper people decided was okay. Lonzo Ball and the Lakers at the Q on November 21st. Former Cavs James expected to play. Now, I'm going to give that writer, whoever decided to put that there, the benefit of the doubt and assume they were trying to make some kind of joke. But even then, it's just not funny. For our next story of the day, and once again, this one is going to be real quick, but it appears that the defensive player of the year, the reigning defensive player of the year, is now also working on his offensive game. That is right, Rudy Gobert, as Donovan Mitchell released video footage of Rudy Gobert working on his jump shot yesterday. wonder how good the Jazz are about to be this year. They caught everyone off guard last year, right? They surprised the heck out of people, and especially by making it to the second round of the playoffs, beating the Thunder. And even then, they really started to click the more the season progressed. At the end of the season, it looked like they were pretty much unbeatable until they had to go up against the Rockets in the playoffs. So now, if they can stay healthy this year, along with an improved Donovan Mitchell coming back, an improved Rudy Gobert coming back, they kept all of their key pieces together and then added Grayson Allen through the draft, who I think is a perfect fit. I wonder how good they could be. Like, I don't think it's unrealistic for us to expect them to be fighting for the second or the third seed in the Western Conference. Also in the news, Giannis Antetokounmpo was interviewed yesterday, and he was asked basically, is there any added pressure that he feels coming into the season now that he's the face of NBA 2K19, and also a lot of fans around the league believe that he is next, the guy that is going to rule the league once LeBron James, starts to hit that bit of a decline, if he ever hits that bit of a decline. And Giannis pretty much said that no, he ain't worried because he always knew that he was going to be the best. I felt I was the next chosen one since I arrived in the NBA. There is no pressure on me. This has been the conversation around Giannis for the past couple of years. A couple of years ago, it seemed pretty set in stone that Giannis was next up. He was next to inherit the throne after LeBron James stepped down. But I will say, after every passing season, it seems less and less like that's going to be a sure thing, and that's to no fault of Giannis. It's not like he's been disappointing or anything like that, but it's more or less just because so many other great young players have entered the NBA and have made a case for them possibly being up next after LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, all the other upper echelon players right now. So it's hard to predict who's going to be next. Like in the past, when MJ was about to step down, we already knew that Kobe Bryant, he had next. And then when Kobe Bryant was ready to step down, we already knew that LeBron James had next. And now with LeBron getting ready to turn 34, we still have no idea who's gonna be next. And now for what will be our final story of the day. Speaking of the best players in the NBA right now, the two best players are of course LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Most people acknowledge LeBron James as the clear-cut best player in the league. However, if you were to talk about strictly offensively and scoring, then it shifts to Kevin Durant, as I believe most people would agree that Kevin Durant is the best scorer in the league right now. And that's pretty much what Gordon Hayward said yesterday, as when he was asked who is harder to defend, LeBron James or Kevin Durant, this is what he had to say. They're both tough to guard. For me, KD's always been a little tougher to guard, but like when LeBron puts his shoulder down, sometimes it makes it a little difficult. Ain't nobody stopping LeBron James once he lowers that shoulder and decides he's going into the paint. Just get out of the way. There's nothing you can do to stop him. Thing is, he doesn't do that all the time. You don't see LeBron James doing that every single possession. With Kevin Durant, you have to try and guard him every single possession, and it's just impossible to do. With LeBron, you can try and contest one of his jumpers and hopefully he will miss. But with Kevin Durant, probably just had to feel so helpless because this dude is like 7 feet tall, taking you off the dribble, doing fadeaways, pull-ups, just anything ridiculous you can think of. And it's like, how are you supposed to try and defend that? Even if you absolutely hate Kevin Durant, you have to acknowledge him as possibly the most impossible to guard player that the NBA has ever seen. Now though, it is time for the question of the day, where I ask you guys a question based on the things that we had to talk about in today's video. And today's question of the day is going to be this: which rookie do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year this year? Do you agree that it's Luka Doncic since he had that 58% chance? Or do you think that he's being overrated and that it's going to be someone else? Let me know down in the comment section below and use the hashtag QOTD for your chance to be featured in tomorrow's video. And speaking of which, in yesterday's video, after Kawhi Leonard released his apology, thank you letter, whatever you want to call it, to the San Antonio Spurs and their fans, I asked you guys how did it make you feel, and here's what you had to say. Kawhi has fixed literally nothing with that letter. The only thing that can fix it, or at least help the situation of the Spurs fans, is at least putting out a video of him talking about it, or like another player's podcast talking about the situation, but I can't wait to see how he performs for my Raptors. The letter is an absolute joke. It's clearly not from him. He should have given fans a bit more. He went for the traditional cookie cutter farewell letter. If I was a Spurs fan, I would be mad with what he sent. I am a San Antonio native and a Spurs fan since 2003, when I was old enough to remember watching games. While I officially hate Kawhi now, this statement doesn't make me feel any type of way. Dude probably didn't even write the letter for all we know because he spoke so little. I don't know what a note from him would sound like. Likely he just signed his name to it. The note was just so bland. Like, you read it and you're just like, what is this? After 3 weeks, all you could say was thank you? It made you think that he just had someone write it up for him real quick on his way to go get something to eat or something like that. It was just so little emotion. It seemed so not genuine. Then again, Kawhi Leonard does seem like such an emotionless, non-talkative guy that, honestly, if you think about it, if he were to write a thank you letter, it probably would turn out something like that, just bland. Anyways, that is going to do it for this video. Remember to leave your answer to today's question of the day down in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, I am out of here. Peace!